All right, let's talk about Anthony O'Neal. Who knows? Anybody know who Anthony O'Neal is? You guys know who Anthony O'Neal is? Everybody? Anthony O'Neal. I'm waiting. Anybody know what that guy is? Real quick, 1 second here. This guy right here. Let me show you who I am talking about. Anthony O'Neal. Anthony O'Neal is a guy who preaches about money and stuff like that. This guy right here. So he released a short video on his channel. I follow him, you know. I think it's about, how old is Anthony O'Neal? About 38 years old or so. Never been married. I think he's been what do you call it? Engaged once upon a time. Let me see how old Anthony is. Anthony is can I tell? I think it's 38 or so. I'm trying to see right now. Let me see. It's somewhere between 35 and 40. Let's just say that. Okay. And he was engaged at one time. Okay. And it's no longer engaged now. Why do I see something that said was born in 1990? It's not 32. No, this guy is like 38, I think. Yeah, he's born he's 37 years old. It's born in 1986, something like that. More like something like that. But anyway, between 35 and 35. So he's talking about why he's not married, and I thought this would be a good one because, you know, oftentimes here, yes, from Dave Ramsey's show, exactly. What's going on, Marriott? Right, so yeah, so he's talking about why he's not married in this video, and I thought we can learn from it, right? Because I do think that if you're 40 years old, never be married, and you want to be married, and it's not like there was a time that you never wanted to be married, and you're not divorced, I think that's a red flag. I'm sorry. No, you're not the devil. No, that's not what I meant. You're not from hell. No, that's not what I meant. I promise. Okay. I'm just saying, somebody's trying to get with you. They should probably look a little closer, you know. But wait, I thought wisdom comes with time. Yeah, so does coconut head. That also comes with time too, right? So if you're having some kind of, especially if it's very subconscious, very subtle in nature, level of coconut head, you know, those type that comes from the blind spot that you don't really see. Like if you have a subconscious subtle struggle with compromise, yeah, marriage no go work, you know. And by the way, if you're a man, you probably will attract a lot of young ladies because you're matured, you're fully grown, you're in your quote unquote prime, all of that, right? You probably have some money too, right? High tech enthusiast, tech professional, multiple six figures, right? But you're attracting all these girls and you don't know what's going on, right? Yeah. You know, I could literally tell you for free, but no, I won't do that because that would be generalizing. It just depends on people to people, but I've found that over time, since I've been doing this, that this is a real thing, okay? Just something to pay. Red flag means something you should pay attention to. Okay, so maybe it's more of a yellow flag. As a matter of fact, I must try to see if I get one of my guys here to come and talk about yellow flags, you know, for December. We shall see. But remember, we do have a book coming out called The #1 Red Flag. So with that being said, let's see what Anthony O'Neal has to say about this topic. Let's see.
One of the reasons why I'm still not struggling in that space, I'm definitely moving forward, is because I want a place where I can be truly emotional with my woman. And I think that sometimes in relationships in the past, I've never felt like what you just said. I can talk about how I feel, because if I said how I really felt, I don't know.
All right. Already, Anthony, before we move too fast forward, come
Stop
on.
the cap.
But I know what it means. All right. But gentlemen, I know what it means, okay? And I felt that way before. Because remember, you know, I'm just a brother just like you. Felt that way. Felt like, you can't really express your feelings, right? But usually in that same breath, you get to say, I feel like I can't say nothing. Like you just don't listen. Well, you're kind of like talking about your feelings in that point in time. But I get what you mean. You don't feel safe enough to tell your woman right? And he's looking for a woman that will make him feel comfortable enough to speak their feelings. And I know what the ladies will say. The ladies are like, you tell your feelings all the time. No. Stop the cap too, okay? Stop the cap, all right?
Stop the cap.
In fact, there are two girls that I might play their video right after this. That this, this bare minimum talking points, like that's just the bare minimum, right? That's part of it right there. If you feel like a man, you just do what he's supposed to be as a man and not complain. That's part of it. That's part of the issue. But issues are deeper, But the reason why a lot of people might feel like they can't speak their mind is because usually they lack the patience that's required to go along with that. Because remember, the other person is probably operating out of their feelings too, right? So if you don't have if you don't have enough patience in your tank, yes, you will come back and tell us this story that Anthony Oli is telling us right now. Let's keep going.
If it's going to come off the right way to you. And so what I did was I acted strong and I'm like, no, I'm good. But really on the inside, let's be real, I was a little insecure about something. But
all right, so you were lying, which the best of us would do that as well. So you said, I'm good, but you're not really good. Okay, so you're lying. So I don't know how you would expect any type of good result from lying about your feelings, right? Again, I get it. You don't, like you just said, you don't feel like you're always watching, making sure it's going to land the proper way. So in order to avoid the truth, right? Let me just lie to her. I'm good, right? Well, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to build resentments over time. And then you can end up, resenting the whole process, right? And by the way, the older you get, the worse it gets with this kind of situation, because you're gathering more and more terrible experiences, usually terrible experiences, because that's what he's describing right now. You're gathering all these experiences from all this breakfast, right? All this heartbreak, as you say, right? And then you're expecting yourself to, does it get better with time or it gets worse? It gets worse. Because, quote unquote, proverbially, trauma, right? You're creating these bad experiences, they will become your reality over and over and over again, because you'll be looking around, you're just fearful, you're afraid for your life, just because you're trying to couple up with another human being to do life together. I completely understand him. So I might even take the excuse from him, like, okay, what are you going to do about that? Because it actually gets worse if you keep it there as just is, right? Let's continue.
I didn't feel as if it was a safe place to say, hey, I'm feeling this way. Can we set aside everything else and just talk about my feelings? And then once we understand my feelings, then let's come up with the solution. Normally it's, if I say I feel this way, sometimes men are attacked for how they're feeling.
Can you give me an example of that attack? Because I hear that a lot when they're just like,
oh, she's brilliant. She is so brilliant. She said, can you give me an example of that attack? It's very easy to talk out of our ass. Like I might say things like 40 years plus never been married is red flag. That's talking out of my ass. At the end of the day, that's a generalization, right? Because it varies from people to people. But I can say, hey, from what I've seen, hey, in general, right? All right, so she said, you know what? No, give me an example. That's brilliant.
Use it against them, she'll attack them. So can you give me an example of what that actually looks like?
Let me find a safe one.
Because it's hard for me to believe that women are just running around here like, what you mean you sad?
No. Well, you sad,
you punk, you sad? I mean, what do you mean?
You're a punk for being sad.
Mean by attack?
No, let me say this. It's not
okay.
It's not all women, but I'll definitely say this. So I was in a particular magazine, and they acknowledged me for being one of the top 40 under 40 influential black people in America. And at that time, I was with I'm trying to be very wise here how I say my words. I was with a particular woman, was in a relationship, and this is her exact words to me. She was making more money than me. And
all right, so let me pause that for a second. He said, I'm trying to be very wise with how I choose my words, right? So he's actually doing it right now. This is normal behavior. Okay, well, this is a wise thing to do, to pick your words wisely. There's nothing wrong with you if you have to pick your words wisely, because he alluded to that earlier on when he was saying, well, I'm always trying to make sure that what I'm trying to say, my feelings, lands properly. Well, you should, And you should embrace that process, right? It's like when you demonize the act of trying to, making sure your word land properly, that's where you're struggling. But it's actually something you're supposed to do as a wise man. Like, make sure that your words are received properly, right? The message you're trying to pass along are actually received, right? See, you need to get that in your mindset first before you alter anything, because when you do that, then you can appreciate the process. Then you know that the process of waiting to make sure that your words are received are actually worth it, because you get to create good experience for not just the other person but for yourself. Both of you will be on the same page, right? Hopefully they also do the same thing, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because in life there is structure. There is God, there's man, there's woman, and there's children, right? So there is that structure anyway. So to whom much is given, much is required. If you're a leader, you're going to be required more, but you also get more in other ways. There's double standards on all sides, right? But if you appreciate what I just said, then you won't feel so frustrated if sometimes you have to be patient so that the other person can actually receive you well, especially if you're trying to play the leader in that context, right? Like what? Like just understand that that's how life is, right? But when you don't understand that, you resent the whole thing, then it's no wonder you feel like it's an attack, right? Now, I personally have not encountered a woman and said, "You speak your feelings, you're a punk." There's usually more nuances to what is actually going on, right? And if you have enough patience, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? And if you have enough patience, you would have gotten enough results to be able to appreciate every time you have to do that all over again, right? But if it's your first time, it's your second time, and then you quit, and then or somebody quits, or it just gets really, really bad. I understand where it's coming from, right? But it's stuff that needs to be worked on, because time is not anybody's mate.
He said, "That's nothing. I expect you to do that. You're a man." So and this is her exact words to me. She was making.
So you don't lose your train of thought. Remember, he was featured as 40 under 40, top 40 under 40 in the magazine. He does very well for himself, right? As a brand. And basically, he's looking forward to some kind of appreciation from his fiancée at the time. And that's what he's talking about right now.
And at that time, I was with, I'm trying to be very wise here, how I say my words. I was with a particular woman who was in a relationship, and this is her exact words to me. She was making more money than me, and she said, "That's nothing. I expect you to do that. You're a man." So I simply, when she said that, I said, yeah, I got you. But internally, I was looking for my woman to like, babe, that's a huge accomplishment. Babe, I'm so proud of you. Babe, like, I back you. But because she was already successful, she was like, boy, I'm already winning. You need to be winning. That's good. Do your thing. But it's like, there was no... And here's the thing that flipped me. My mama called me. My pastor called me. My sister called me. But the woman who I'm trying to...
You see why I call them red flags now, right? This is why I call them red flags. What he's describing is a big deal. Okay, it's a big deal that can backfire in about 50,000 different ways in a romantic relationship, right? Now, ladies, I keep telling you, a man's love language, a big chunk of that is just appreciation, no matter how little, right? Just because men don't get enough of that. So it's just that big when they get it, right? If you just say a simple thank you for something stupid, random. Men don't get any of that at all. What men tend to get is that's the bare minimum. You're doing what you're supposed to do. What you want to thank, you want a candy. I say that to them too sometimes, because sometimes I just want to drag them. But coming from your woman, that's what he's describing, right? Now, when you become a matured man to a certain point, right, you can see the blurry line between this and being needy. There's a needy behavior thing here, right? It's a fine line between what we're talking about right now and just being needy. And it shows not necessarily with your mouth. Sometimes it shows in your energy. She can feel it. She can tell that you're being needy, right? You need some candy. You made it top 40, under 40. You need candy. And now you're matching her, you're comparing her to your mother, your family member, right? Like, no, I didn't say that. It shows in your energy. It shows it's a very delicate dance, right? That can absolutely destroy your chances at authentic love in life, right? When you don't need it, it's extremely attractive, right? Shout out to Auntie Shafi Bello. She told us that yesterday, even though it was off topic. When you don't need it, it's highly attractive, right? And then she might be in a position where she's more receiving to even giving it, right? So it's a little tricky. I just say all you can worry about is your own side of the coin. Ladies, your own side of the coin is this: men are needy. Let me don't lie to you, they are needy. Okay, if you can just give that small thing, sometimes it goes a long way. It's part of your seduction skills, right? Because you did it when it was effortless anyways. After C finish enter that, you start questioning this kind of stuff. But gentlemen, focus on your mission and your purpose. If that's the girl you like, focus on that and continue. Don't take your eyeballs off your purpose, because these little things right here will hunt you down. Can potentially, she might just not have enough in her tank, and you can destroy that relationship like that. So it's a very delicate dance. I don't like doing the balance thing, but I just wanted to point those out to two different people. As a man, if you're in this position, yes, this can cross the line of being needy, okay? Especially if she feels, doesn't mean it's the reality. If she feels like I always say thank you, I don't know what you're talking about, but in this particular one, you need it so badly, and it's not showing up now because you won't say it now, because remember, it doesn't really say how it feels, right? But it's going to show up as in other forms. It's going to show up as the vibe, the energy in other areas of life, and she could feel it as something is empty, and then you end up breaking up. And you're like, no, we broke up because of something stupid. No, it's a series, a sequence of many interactions, sequence of things that led down to the breakup. But neediness is not attractive. Just keep that at the back of your mind, okay?
Build a life with was like, boy, I expect you to do that. And so for me at that time, I was fearful to express my feelings, because what I got from her was, you're a man, you're supposed to be doing that. And
Gotcha.
this man was like, dang, I needed my woman.
I didn't put the words in his mouth. He said, I needed my woman. Okay, so at what point do I need crosses the line to neediness, right? It depends. I don't know what's going on in that relationship, but if there's enough of negative stuff going on, oh yeah, that will easily be interpreted as neediness, right? So neediness is not a dictionary meaning. It depends on how the persons feel. It's ultimately the feelings. As much as you and I should not be driven by our feelings, right? You should try your best not be driven by your feelings, but you need to acknowledge that these feelings are very powerful and they can dictate the next direction for your relationship, But yeah, mommy, yeah, you're wrong. You see, a man cannot say his feelings already. You're doing mommy. Why? Marriott.
Oh, beauty.
This is just wrong. Honestly, his feelings are valid. Men looking for their mommy and women looking for their daddy in their partners. I'm telling you, these are real things. Like I keep telling you, it's not bad people that end up in divorce court. It's little things like this that end people up in divorce court. These days, they don't end up in divorce court. They just end up with a lot of break fast in order to avoid divorce. The struggle is real. Her reaction was condescending though. Like, can a big deal. Or the reaction of the... So it depends on what else was going on. That's what I'm trying to say. It depends on what else was going on in that relationship. You could be right. That was the big deal. It could also be that he's been moving like this in many other areas of life. At that point, all she needed, like the only thing that you need to break the camel's back, is that how they say it? Might be something stupid, something that's not a big deal, right? So, but that's what he's saying here. But this is obviously serious for him, right? So in what other ways has he complained about this? Or before he even gets to complain, say, I can't deal with this. I'd rather not be with this person. This person is looking like my ex. They don't even know how to say ordinary thank you. They can't even say ordinary I'm sorry. Téèyàn bá ti ń dàgbà máa ń yógun jà ni. Yoruba people say that. You pick your battles wisely as you get older. Unfortunately, when you are younger, it's a little bit harder because to you, everything is, it's my right. But that's my right. Yeah, okay.
To kind of be encouraging, to be supportive, to be my number one cheerleader, but I never told her that. And if she's watching today, this is probably the first time that she'll see it.
Wow.
Because we broke up. I never mentioned anything else to her about it. But that's what I mean. It feels that sometimes men, we want that nourishment. We want that supporter. We want to feel like we are Hercules to our women. We don't never want to feel like, oh, well, I expect you to do that. And we understand that there are expectations to being a man. But you have kids. I have nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
They know they're supposed to bring home A's and B's. But even when they bring home A's and B's, I don't say, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm like, good job, boy. You know what? Here go a little $5. You know, here's some ice cream. I'm proud of you. That's what, you know, the Gibbons and the Henrys and you know, O'Neills, that's what we do. But here's still some encouragement. And I think sometimes men, we're so used to not being celebrated that we put our feelings aside and we keep on moving. And that is something that I want in my marriage. I want inside of my relationship. And that is hard to find because people feel like, oh, but you're Anthony O'Neill. Oh, you're AO. Man, no. Bishop Jake said this at the leadership conference. I'm still little Anthony on the inside. I'm
We all
still
are.
a little
We're all
kid.
still a kid on the inside.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
of us are. All of us are.
Yeah,
And that's
so-
okay. Yeah.
Give me a little bit of, if you my woman, give me hype. I don't expect that from my team members. I don't expect that from, but my woman, no, I'm gonna need you to talk to little AO in there.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. And I'm sure that if she is listening,
Before she continues, what are your thoughts at this point in time? I'm waiting in the chat. What are your thoughts at this? Before we continue with that, because that's what he just said. It's more of a confirmation of what Mario was alluding to. But again, there's the other side of it, right? What do you think? I hear a little bit more of the mommy thing in there. But I can see when this is a real big deal. There's just some women that don't know how to appreciate anything, right? So I can see that as well. And that's why I'm asking, what do you think? You think this is something that he should be complaining about, or you think like, no, it shouldn't be a big deal? Who shouldn't it be a big deal to, the man or the woman? Right? Based off the little, we have limited information. Based off the little we've heard so far, who shouldn't make this so much of a big deal? The man or the woman? They wait. There's another video here that I thought would be necessary to really make this go home. Let me play a little bit of that again, because she has some word of wisdom that she's going to share. Let's keep going.
reflecting on that, she probably didn't hear it at the time and might hear it now.
Right.
And maybe be able to learn from that. We all come from places that, especially, I think, not especially, but in a certain way, uniquely in the Black community, we come from some generations that were just very work oriented. This is the work. This is what you do. You know, many of us, I'm almost 50 years old. So
Oh, wow. She looked good for her age.
I saw this funny Instagram video the other day about like Black moms when they know they're wrong, and they had went off on the kid. They come in the bedroom, is like, "Hey, did you still want that video game?" Or, you know, and the kid was like, "Nah." They're like, "Oh, now you don't want it?" Like, you know, just not. So we, because of many things, some things are cultural, some things, the pressures that we've lived under, we haven't been in a place where it may have felt safe to be vulnerable emotionally, but it's something that I'd like to see us build.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
so first and foremost, though, each of us getting in touch with our own emotions, bless you,
Thank you.
Each of us getting in touch with our own emotional lives. And then before we go, I want to make sure I talk about how to start doing that.
Please.
And then being willing to start to use the language of need when it comes to our emotions, because we're quick to say what we think we need to solve a problem, but not realizing what we actually just need emotionally. And to be so okay with that, that I can say to someone, hey, I need to have some words of affirmation. I need, that hug right now. I need to feel more connected to you in this moment.
Wait now. Auntie, that's what he just said. He said he doesn't feel safe to even say what he feels. You're asking him to say he needs. You see that's the struggles, okay? These are the struggles here. Hold on. He said he doesn't wait. Maria says, was he praising her? Was this lauding his fame over her even while making less? Right? We don't know. There's so much we don't know, right? Okay, so but they give us something to work with. They give us something to work. But she's not asking like go to her and say I need brothers, okay? The only thing I ask you, I do think you should express your feelings. Remember I said earlier that if you're not expressing your feelings and you say I'm good when you're not really good, you're lying. So nothing really good can come out of that too as well, right? The only thing I tell you is that when you do express what you need, manage your expectations. That's all I can ask you to do, okay? Manage your expectations. There's a long-term reward for expressing how you feel and expressing what you need. There's long-term reward for it, okay? Because it's clear, it's out there. They know how you feel. They know what you need. There's a short-term effect of that, and that's when Mario to say, oh, you didn't praise me yesterday. Did you praise me? It becomes what about ism? What about you yesterday? Did you say thank you when I also made it to the magazine on Vibes? Sorry, not Vibe. On Ebony Live TV, I was on their Kineto. You didn't say thank you at that time, and you're asking me to say thank you right now. I appreciate you. Like, why are you being needy? And then it gets worse because you just literally stabbed him in the heart with that. Like, he was already needy, and then those are the nuances that plays out in real life. Okay? Because why? Because feelings are short-term in nature, right? People express their feeling and then they expect a short-term result. They expect a short-term reward. Does that make sense? Right? If you're going to express your feelings and talk about what you need, first of all, make sure that it's something that's, it's a more of a sustainable thing for you long-term. And you understand that depending on how much damage it's already happened, might be some pushback that you're not prepared for. Manage your expectations, right? But you put it out there and then you move on. You don't stay there and argue or get in a toxic argument about what you need, because that's what most people do, right? Express it how you feel. Be sure of yourself as a man, because that's how you attract respect, and you keep it moving. Like, okay, babe, I'll see you later. I need you to say thank you sometimes. It just makes me feel good anytime you do that, all right? All right, but, all right, babe, I'll see you later. You're out. You put it out there, you keep it moving, right? If you do that 2 more times, you probably will never have to do that for the rest of your life again, because it will take on such a, like, you sow that seed, right, that she will never forget. But if you mix that up together with arguing about why you need it, right, that environment, right, that toxic vibe that comes with that argument will unfortunately swallow the essence of why you were asking for that in the first place, right? So as much as I would like to tell him, like, yeah, just say I need us, I'm like, okay, I would like to add on to that manage your expectations around that, especially if there's been terrible arguments around this topic already up to that point. Manage all of that. Don't manage your expectations. Just say, hey, I'm just sowing a seed. This is a seasons, all right, and then I can harvest later on. Long term, you need to play the long game. I don't think it's healthy to not express your quote unquote need or how you feel. I don't think that's healthy long term. I don't think it's healthy also to express it and expect instant gratification. I think that's actually more destructive than the expression of your need. And yes, it is a real thing that the man is expected to know what he wants. All right. So, or be sure of himself. That's what makes a man attractive. Sorry about that. Hold on 1 second. All right. So with that being said, we're going to, before we move on forward, we're going to go ahead and get off of Facebook. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, you're watching us, you want to join us on YouTube, we'll continue the show on YouTube. But like I said, we do have a big show today because these are some of the things that are plaguing relationships and the family units today. These little things. Okay, I'll be right back. Our Facebook will see you on YouTube. Come over to YouTube. All right, I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thing. I find it beautiful girl. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.